Aristotle once said, anyone can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, in the right way, this is not easy. I remember during my hiatus, I was binge watching Ian LaFazant Fix My Life episodes. And one time she had this woman and her three daughters who had a very messed up situation. But she put them on one side of the table. And then she had a bunch of people walk in and just cause havoc. I mean, she had they were all dressed in black and they were screaming and making so much noise and kind of everybody freaked out. And then after they left, she turns to this woman and her daughters and goes, "What did you see?" And one person goes, "I saw 3 females and 1 male." Another one said, "No, I saw 3 males and 1 female." Another one said, "I saw 2 females and 2 males." And what the point that Iyanla was trying to drive home was that you can have one overall experience, but then turn around and take away different individual experiences. And I feel like this is exactly what happened with Mina and Jimin. I'm telling you, this whole thing kind of dropped a bombshell for those who didn't see this coming. I saw this coming from a million miles away. For those of you who have no idea what I am talking about, Dispatch this morning, well, my morning at least, pretty much dropped a transcript of pretty much 128 minutes of the conversation that happened between the members of AOA and Mina right after Mina exposed Jimin. I'm pretty sure you guys remember Mina said they came to her house and there was a conversation that happened. The conversation apparently was recorded and anonymously given to Dispatch. So they had translated the entire conversation. Not only that, they also had the text that Mina and Jimin had exchanged right after Jimin's father passed away. Possession, the text Mina was sending to Jimin right after the situation and the scandal broke after, Mina lied and said that Jimin never apologized to her. And Kakao chat conversations of the managers who work with AOA complaining about Mina's behavior. So there's a lot to break down. Here's the thing. I'm not going to post screenshots or anything because I feel like, honestly, I just don't have the time to edit all of that. So I will put everything that you need, everything from translations from, Elvis, who speak both Korean and English. I've got those. I have got news outlets that were translating all of these conversations between Mina and Jimin. So I'm just going to pretty much put a rundown on this. First, I'm going to talk about the text that they had before Mina exposed Jimin, I guess. And then I'm going to talk about the conversation they had, the recorded conversation. Then I'm going to talk about the text Mina sent Jimin after. And then I'm going to talk about basically, the staff complaints and all of this and what my, I guess you would say, conclusion to this entire story is, and hopefully it's a conclusion. And then, not finally. I have something else. After that, I am going to talk about Mina's response to this entire situation because she responded. She said she was going to go seek some help and she is also going to reflect. I wonder how long it's going to take her to reflect before she's back on the internet and crying about Jimin again. The first thing that they have were the texts on April 4th, 2020. Now, April 4th was the wake of Jimin's father. Jimin's father passed away on April 3rd. April 4th, Mina went to the wake and she talked about how she broke into tears when Jimin said sorry to her and how she just, exploded with emotions. And Mina told Jimin how much she regretted not approaching her earlier and telling her problems and what she was dealing with and what she was going through. And she said she really regret that she was not honest with Jimin earlier. And so, she thanks Jimin for apologizing to her. She also apologized to Jimin, for not being, I guess, cooperative when they were in the group together. And she asked her to be healthy. She thanked her for hugging her. Jimin told her that she loved her and that they were grateful for each other. And, Mina was like, next time we meet, hug me a little tighter, that sort of thing. So it seemed like everything was great, right? April 8th, Jimin called Mina. Mina did not respond, but then checked on with her later. And, Jimin told her that, I wanted to call you. I was just thinking of you. They communicated on that. I'm so sorry. Like, I keep cutting myself because my phone keeps vibrating with all these people trying to send me DMs on Instagram. Just give me a minute. Okay, guys. And then again on May 12th, Jimin called Mina again. Mina did not respond to the call, but she did check in with Jimin. She said, she'll try to answer her calls later. She was really having a hard time, and they organized to go out for drinks. For you to go out and catch a meal. This is, mind you, this is 2 months before Mina exposed Jimin. So this is not like some distant time back in the day. This is literally in May. They were kind of having a conversation. This is May, late night around 11 p.m. And they're having late night conversations, planning on reservations to go eat and stuff like that. So everything seemed great until July 3rd, of course, when Mina just out of nowhere, told everybody Jimin did this to me and so on and so forth. So the conversations, Jimin did not see this coming because as far as Jimin was concerned, the two of them had a conversation in April. They opened up, they cried about it, they reconciled, and now they're communicating, calling each other, deciding, where to go have food and to meet, that sort of thing, telling each other they love each other. Everything seems great. So out of nowhere in July, that's when Mina basically exposed her. Okay. So now they go to her house. Everybody was there, including Choa. Choa left the group a while back, by the way, but she was there. Obviously, these are her friends. They were in a group together and there's a problem. And she was the eldest. So, she was just being there, trying to kind of like take on the role of the older sister, which is pretty formidable, I will say. They went in to go have a conversation. Jimin said that she wanted to apologize, but she also mentioned that she honestly doesn't remember what Mina was accusing her of, all the stuff that she had accused her of. I think deep down inside, as far as Jimin's concerned, this is all a lie and it never really happened. Otherwise, I feel like she would have never responded with the word fiction unless she genuinely believed that Mina was lying. Okay. So she said, you know what? I'm here to apologize for everything. Even the stuff I do not remember, I still want to be here to apologize for it. She was not having it. She told her, you should remember you hit me a lot, and so on and so forth. And Jimin is like, that's not how I remember things. So it's like there's this weird tension and conflict between the two of them. Mina claiming Jimin did stuff, Jimin saying that's not how it happened, but apologizing regardless. And this is very important because I swear to you, if you read the text, you find out she apologized so many times you have no idea. I just find it so weird that Mina had the audacity to walk around and say that Jimin only said that she was sorry when she was about to leave and she seemed really upset. But Jimin apologized so much to the point where she broke down into tears, apologizing. To the other part where Mina had said that Jimin threatened to take her own life. The way Mina wrote it, at least the way it came across, was that Jimin walked in there, barged in there, screamed at Mina, and threatened to take a knife and say, I'm going to kill myself. This is, do you want me to die so all of this can be over? That's kind of how Mina portrayed the story. Turns out that's not really how it happened. According to the conversation, Mina showed Jimin her self-harm scars. Jimin felt so bad that she thought the only way she could ever resolve feeling that she was responsible for Mina harming herself, she felt like she needed to die. She felt like she had failed Mina so much that she deserved to die. You see, there's a difference between walking in and going, you ruined my life, I'm going to take my own life, versus I ruined your life, I don't deserve to live. The latter is what happened. The former is what Mina told us. And this is living proof that you cannot just believe everything that comes out of Mina's mouth. Jimin just said, you know what? This is all my fault. Like, I deserve to die. Seriously. And this is when Choa and Chanmi kind of intervene and tell Jimin that, this is not helping the situation and she just simply needs to apologize. Jimin, of course, she just said, okay, well, if I can't do any of this, then I'll just leave. This is when Jimin says, okay, you know what? I need to leave the group because I have messed up so much. Everybody has fallen apart because of me. So I need to leave the group. This is all my fault. Choa, of course, tells her, nope, you're not leaving. You're not solving the problem. We need to have a conversation. And Jimin once again continues to apologize. And every time, basically the conversation went a little like something like this. Mina will hurl an accusation at Jimin. Whether the accusation is true or not, Jimin will simply apologize and say, I'm sorry, it's all my fault. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. Repeatedly. She never tried to justify herself. All she just said is she was sorry. The only time Jimin ever tried to explain herself was to try and tell her point of view. She felt as if she was trying to step into her role as a leader and make sure that her team did the best. You have to understand Jimin's position here. If the team is faltering, it's Jimin's fault. She carries that responsibility. So it's her job to make sure that the team is doing what is expected of them. It's her job to make sure that they're training, that they are getting better, taking care of themselves. It's her job to hold the team together, basically. Jimin, once again, she just told her that she was just honest with her. Look, I do not remember what you're telling me, but I know that you've been hurt and you've been broken and it's all my fault and I'm sorry. I'm just going to say, okay, look, Mina is frustrated. She's upset. She's allowed to, to vent and, to be mad. I just think it's unfair that Mina wants to scream her point of view. And when Jimin tells her that she honestly doesn't remember, she just tells her and screams at her some more and says that your apology is not sincere. Jimin doesn't have to remember for this apology to be sincere. All she had to see was Mina's scars, and that was enough for her to start apologizing for everything. Jimin also then reminded Mina, that she was there for her when she was sick. Up until the very end, it was always her. She had been there for Mina when Mina was falling apart, when Mina was sick. It was Jimin that was there the entire time. And she tried to remind Mina of that. And Mina said, yes, I do remember. But in that time, I was thinking that it was all your fault. I just don't understand, because Mina apologized earlier for not being honest with Jimin and not telling her how she felt. I just don't understand what was the reason for her not being honest with her in the first place. The conversation continues, and it seems as if the girls are agreeing on it. By the way, I do have to mention, Soyeon is not saying much here. She's quiet the entire time. She said like 2 sentences throughout this entire conversation. It's just pointing it out. It seems as if everybody came to an agreement that both Mina and Jimin were just super sensitive. The personalities pretty much clashed because you can't just get along with everyone that you've met. But there are 2 things that stood out to me in this conversation. The first one was when Choa admitted that she personally actually kind of gave up on Mina because Mina does not listen. She says, every time I speak to you, you don't listen. It's like you put a muzzle in you. You muffle your ears. It's like you have earmuffs. Every time I tell you something, you don't listen. And Mina agreed to that. So Mina's stubborn. So stubborn to the point that Choa, the oldest member in the group, had to give up telling her stuff. So Jimin had to take a stronger stance to get Mina to do just about anything. It seems as if all the other members were walking around eggshells, but Jimin did not have the privilege of doing that. And this is something that I also address on my Insta stories. I keep hearing people saying, Choa is so mature. Choa should have been the leader in the group. No. A, because Choa had a lot of mental health issues as well. For those of you who don't know, it's part of the reason why she left the group early. But B, Jimin did not have the option of giving up like Choa. Because let me tell you something. In our homestead, there's only so much I can make my siblings do. If it's gotten to the point where I could give up on my siblings and say, I'm not going to tell you what to do no more. I'm sick and tired. But you know who can't give up? My parents. Because they're responsible for what happens to my siblings. This is the same thing with Jimin. Jimin did not have the option of giving up like Choa. Choa is sitting here doing damage control as the eldest. But the entire time she couldn't make Mina do anything. Jimin, however, had the responsibility. She had to do it. She didn't have a choice. So for people to sit here and act as if Choa would have done a much better job and handled Mina better, all that Choa did was sit there and mediate stuff and let Mina bombard Jimin, and all she simply did was tell Jimin to apologize for whatever insults and whatever accusations Mina hurls at her, whether they're true or not. It's like she wouldn't allow Jimin to defend herself or stand up for herself. And in my personal opinion, I honestly can't sit here and say that's mature. To me, it sounds more like I'm going to make you apologize so we can resolve this and call it a day. So I'm not trying to shade Choa or anything like that, but I'm just not going to walk around and give her that credit for being so mature. Like, no. If anything, I'm actually giving Jimin a lot of respect for putting up with Mina for 10 years, because I swear to God, if I had to live with somebody like that, I'm going to stop right there. The second thing that stood up to me was when Haejung is supposed to be the closest, she was the closest member to Mina. Haejung is the one who stood up and said that Mina needed to apologize. Mina refused to apologize to everybody else. She said, I will apologize to everyone but Jimin. And Jimin totally accepted that. She said, you know what? It's fine. You don't have to apologize to me at all. But Haejung stood strong and she was like, absolutely not. You have to apologize to Jimin for what you put her through the entire time. Haejung actually mentioned to Mina and said, do you know that I almost completely lost my mind because of you? To which Mina turned around and said to her, well, then go crazy if that's what you want. Do you see this? Mina takes absolutely zero accountability for the fallout of her relationship with Jimin. Everything has to be her fault. And when Jimin tried to explain once again the real reason why she was so strict, Mina's like, she's lying. It's not true. And when Jimin says, okay, listen to me. I was only trying to do what was best for the team. And guess what Mina says? Was having sex with guys a part of helping the team as well? Once again, bringing Jimin's sex life. I don't understand why Mina is so obsessed with Jimin's sex life. Like, what is... Okay, Jimin was having sex, big deal. Why does she have to keep talking about this? And what does that have to do with her story? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. In conclusion, Jimin apologized a whole bunch of times. Mina accepted the apology. Hear me out. She accepted the apology. She apologized to Jimin for bringing up her dad. Remember, she had said that Jimin's father dramatically croaked. She apologized for that. She apologized for pretty much exploding to the internet and everything that she said. She said that she was sorry. Pretty much the whole group apologized to each other. Mina promised that she was not going to say anything on social media again. She felt embarrassed that she pretty much exploded on the internet and now the whole world knows about this. So she apologized. She checked on Seolyoon. Seolyoon was quiet as a church mouse this entire time. There wasn't a single word coming out of that girl's mouth. So basically, they concluded that they had a very tough schedule. It was difficult for all of them. Mina was super sensitive and she was stubborn. Jimin would try to get through to her by being stricter, but she didn't realize that it was hurting Mina's feelings. And then in conclusion, they all apologized. Mina said that she was sorry and she was not going to upload anything on Instagram again. Jimin, then after they're done with this, Jimin goes onto Instagram. She tells everybody that she felt like she didn't pay attention to her. You see, everyone was talking about how Jimin's apology is BS. But when you look at the conversation that they had, this was their conclusion. The conclusion was that Mina was, Jimin's strictness was really difficult on Mina. Mina was having a hard time handling it. And Jimin just wasn't very understanding with Mina's personality and how Mina was feeling. That was the story. They apologized, to which Jimin apologized for lacking as a leader. And that is where it should have ended. And then Mina did not let it end there. That's when she basically exposed Jimin's sex life, said all these horrible things. And that was when Jimin absolutely stopped talking to her. Mina started sending her texts. And she kept doing this in May. And I think she did this again in November. End of April towards May. If you guys remember, this was the time where she had the scuffle with the nurse, the graphic images and everything like that. It seems as if around times when stuff like this would happen, she would send all these threatening texts to Jimin. So around the time when she was telling everybody, I'm texting Jimin, Jimin is not responding to me, this is what she was saying. She was basically threatening Jimin. In around November, she goes, Jimin, why are you not replying? Are you not going to reply even after I'm dead? Get it together. I will never forget you for the rest of my life. Following text, I want to pay you back for what you did. I am holding it in well. If you read this, reply. Are you not mad? You should come and hit me. LOL. Yes, I know. This is not me saying LOL. This is her. Come on. Are you even human? Next text. Jimin, you can't do this to me. A person is dying. Don't you have feelings? LOL. 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 No, I'm not making this up. Do you not have any guilt? It's time for you to personally come out. Why are you so quiet? Text number 4. You found a knife at my house. I have loads of knives. Come on. You can't even stab me. LOL. Yes, these are all texts by her. Next. As long as I'm alive, I will take revenge. I will never forget the things you did to me and the words you said. I will get my revenge. Just you wait, Samuel Jackson. No, I'm not making this up. Jimin, read my text. You messed with the wrong person. Where did our strong Shin Jimin go? You gotta have a battle with me. I can go or you can come. Come on, you whore. This is April 2021, by the way. This is around the time when people started really doubting Mina's story. She even went as far as to talk about Jimin's mom. This is around May 2021. Quote, "Did you lose the fun after doing this for 10 years? Do you have any guilt? Are you even human?" Text 2. "Does your mother not feel guilty at all? Her daughter is the cause of another person's daughter dying?" By the way, please remember this was the time when Mina took the picture off of a fake girl website and uploaded it. Now, we want to discuss the case of Mina's managers because the managers of AOA seemed to have serious complaints about Mina's attitude. In their Kakao chat conversations, there's something that was mentioned. Mina had a habit of getting her managers to run personal errands that had absolutely nothing to do with the group. It got to the point where she was always so upset that some managers even mentioned that they felt like they're walking around eggshells every time they approached Mina. She would be mad for no reason, get upset, slam doors, just get up and do stuff. One time during the I think this was during Bingo Bingo era when they were filming, Mina had said that she wanted to go to sleep in the car, and the manager was actually scared to tell Mina that there wasn't enough time for her to get some sleep, and between her getting some sleep and the shooting. But she didn't tell her that because she was scared of her. Mina keeps reiterating how terrified she was of Jimin, yet you have the managers who are supposed to be responsible for taking care of them saying that they were scared of Mina. Apart from that, Mina would send messages like 2 a.m., 4 a.m., telling them to fix appointments for her mother. Now, is it necessarily a bad thing? No. But this is not part of their manager's job description. It's not their manager's job to walk around and do stuff for them. It was not their job. Yet Mina was using her position as an idol to take advantage and get them to do stuff. And when one manager actually spoke out and told Mina that this wasn't okay, she let them have it. So, I mean, her mother's reservations for the hospital and so on and so forth, that is not the manager's job. They're not supposed to handle any of that information, yet she got them to do that. And so they talked about it. They were like, she's super sensitive. They talked about how scared they were of her and that she was a bit much. So you have the managers at the team going, they don't like her. Fine, you have Mina saying that she's scared of Jimin. If you want to listen to Mina, go right ahead. But you have to listen to the people who've been around Mina, okay? I talked about this guy who worked with AOA during Heart Attack era, and he mentioned that Mina she had a really bad attitude the entire time during the shoot. It seemed like everyone was enjoying themselves except for her. She had a very nasty attitude. So now I'm going to talk about Mina's response to this. So remember when I said that Mina's response is the last thing I was going to discuss? Yeah, I need to discuss because she made another post again, like literally just about an hour ago. God, I'm so tired of this woman. I'm just so tired. Okay. So she first of all clarified the situation that happened with the smoking. For those of you who don't know, I think it was yesterday, no, the day before. I think, yes, the day before, Mina uploaded a picture with herself and her boyfriend, and she was smoking, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with smoking, except Mina told people that she was in a smoking room, but the hotel she was at was a hotel that did not have a smoking room. So she lied about a hotel having a smoking room, and she broke the rules there, and when she was caught for doing that, she deleted all of her Instagram posts. I swear to God, this woman. Oh my God. Okay. And so, yeah, she clarified that she cleaned everything up. You know, she paid the money, which is like the bare minimum, because not only did you smoke in that hotel, you lied about it having a smoking room. So she talked about all the controversies that happened, how she apologized. But there's something that Mina also said. She said that the article is making her look like a bad guy and it's making her look like she received an apology for over 100 times. Well, I mean, technically that's what happened, right? Jimin apologized. Literally, she apologized so many times, I lost count. So she said that she felt like she is being painted as a bad guy because the person who supposedly recorded this, she believes that it was the manager who has a close friendship with Jimin. She said that it makes her look like a blatant liar. So we should, quote unquote, give her a chance to open up. Sis, we did that a year ago. It's been over 365 days. You had a year to open up and tell us everything that was going on, and all you did was whine and give us stories that didn't make any sense. What on earth makes you think people want to listen to you now? You lied and manipulated people for a year and nobody wants to hear what you got to say. And right now she literally put up a post and saying that she is going to do interviews. You had a year to give us evidence and you said nothing. Please, God, just stop. So, now the case is that I have witnesses, I have evidence, I have receipts. Like, please, I am pleading with you. Direct message me. I think there are people who direct messaged you and you insulted them both before and after. You talk crap about them and you said horrible things to them. So I honestly don't know what possible receipts you could give us now when all this time we've been asking for receipts and proof and all you've done is insult us. She claims I'm not going to do anything obnoxious on social media. I'm trying to take a break from Instagram. What a joke. I realize that my actions were wrong and I know that I have to get treated and I will try to be a better and brighter person. Honestly, I don't care for whatever she has to say anymore. To be honest I'm just going to be real with you guys. I just don't care anymore. All I care about is this woman getting some help. I don't care about anything else she has to say. Honestly, I really don't. Because she's done nothing but give everyone involved a headache. I don't have anything else to say except she needs to get help. One thing I've gathered from this entire conversation is everything that I personally suspected. I'm going to start off by saying Mina goes to FNC Entertainment. She's had an abusive father. She's been forced to be the breadwinner of her home from a very young age and to pretty much take care of everyone in her family. She has a strange, I would say, superiority complex, really. You're talking about someone who's been taken advantage of from a very young age, 14 years old. She was abused. Her father beat the crap out of her, beat the crap out of her mother, and then she was assaulted and raped at 14 years old. This is the girl who walks into FNC Entertainment. She's already in a lot of trouble as is. Mina probably is already feeling depressed at this point. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is where all her depression started at this age. And then she walks into an entertainment that expects her to work extra hard. You have to put in the effort. You have to work 10 times harder than the average person. You guys know, if you've been a K-pop fan for long enough, you know that being a K-pop idol is not easy. So she walks in to this place that expects her to work 24/7. Mina probably does not have the energy or the motivation to do any of it. Jimin, who's been placed with the mantle of being the leader, is having a hard time with Mina's incompetence. She's having a hard time with Mina pulling in her weight. All the other members, Choa included, the oldest, try to get to Mina, tell her to do stuff, but Mina is very irresponsible. She doesn't want to listen to what anyone else has to say. She does not take the advice. So Jimin, as a leader who's supposed to do whatever it takes to make sure this team succeeds, decides to take a stronger stance and goes, you know what? I'm not going to put up with this. This is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to do. She becomes stricter with Mina. Mina gets upset at Jimin because she's not treating her the way she wants Jimin to treat her. But because Jimin's the leader, she's going to have to listen. She doesn't have a choice. Eventually, you have these personalities that are clashing. Jimin sees Mina as an incompetent person who is lazy and irresponsible, doesn't want to pull her weight. Mina sees Jimin as someone who doesn't care for her feelings or emotions and doesn't take whatever she's been through into consideration. The two of them clash, and you have this disaster of a toxic relationship. Mina herself said that she should have been honest with Jimin right from the word go. She should have told her what she was feeling, and she didn't. My mom has always said when you're in a position of authority, at one point you have to cross the red robot when, no one else will. So Jimin took her responsibility very seriously. Mina said that it was bullying. She wanted her irresponsibility. She has got this strange sense of superiority complex. She thinks everybody should just get out of her way and give her whatever she wants. And I've seen this happen with victims of abuse. Some of them, when they've been abused, they feel like they don't deserve anything, while others feel like they deserve everything because they've been abused. And I feel like Mina developed this sense of, you should give me whatever I want because I am a victim in everything. And because Jimin was the strictest and she was the leader, Mina wanted somebody to pay for everything she's been through. Her father never paid for what she did to her. Her rapist never paid for what he did to her. So somebody had to pay. And that someone was going to be Jimin, because Jimin was the easiest target. Every other person who's ever abused Mina was a man. And Mina's talked about how she feared men because of what she went through. So she's not going to go against a guy. She's going to go against someone who's at her level. Someone she feels like she can contend with. And that someone was Jimin. And Jimin paid the price for doing her responsibility. I feel like that's pretty much all we have to the story. Unless Mina has whatever receipts she claims to have, whatever proof she has, I find that this is the story. Mina was problematic. Everyone was having a hard time putting up with her, from her teammates to her managers and to the people who've worked with Mina. And at the end of the day, Mina was irresponsible and destroyed this group. I'm not going to tell Mina how to feel, because Mina's entitled to her feelings based on what she's gone through. What she's not entitled to is ruining other people's lives because of her feelings. She doesn't get to do that. And for people who are walking around and claiming that, this was private, Dispatch should not have exposed this, it's not fair for you to say that Dispatch should not have exposed this in the name of Mina's mental health, when this right here is the evidence people needed to start looking at Jimin's side for once. You can't say that you care about you want Mina to be protected in the name of mental health while you completely ignore Jimin's mental health. So there's that. Mina screwed up. There's no two ways around it. The truth is, Mina was lazy, incompetent, and irresponsible. Jimin happened to be the one person with the guts to call her out for it. And the rest of the group paid the price because of that. That's pretty much the whole story, to be honest. Ugh. This has been the most exasperating thing ever. Unless Mina comes out with anything tangible in her so-called next interview that she claims to have receipts for, honestly, I don't want to cover this story anymore. Because everything that Dispatch released today pretty much confirmed everything that I suspected. So yeah, that's just about it. I'm going to end this here and edit this as fast as possible so I can just give it to you guys. As I mentioned, all of the sources are linked in the description box if you guys want to read the entire thing, or at least just skim through it and see what really happened. That's the entire story. Mina is now walking around and panicking because now she knows that nobody's going to put up with her garbage anymore. So now she's trying to clear up her name. But I think if there's one lesson Mina needs to learn, is that, I guess, what I put in my thumbnail in my last Mina video. Your days are always numbered. You can have this superiority complex and think you're better than everybody else, but one day the truth will come out. God created karma for a reason. And if there's anything I've learned about karma, she really is a bitch.